we're going to pause this and we're going to start this over again.
No, we're not. We're just going to go.
Good day, Drinking Mommies. I'm Whitney, calling from Texas, and then we've got Kate, calling
Hey.
from Massachusetts. And we're going to be taking on kind of a serious topic today, and that's going to be the dangers of child challenges. And so I know, right? I'm sure a lot of you have been reading in the news lately of various challenges, particularly since 2017, that's been kind of making its way like wildfire across all different platforms of social media. We all know the Tide Pod Challenge, Cinnamon Challenge, and the Snorting Condom Challenge, which honestly, I have no idea how that was ever a thing. I never once as a child thought, this is a good idea.
Okay.
I digress. So what we're going to be talking about today is actually going to be 3 of the more severe challenges, to include one that is recently just striking all the news outlets across the nation, and that is the 48-hour challenge. If you're not tracking what this challenge is, basically, mostly teenagers are being dared by other teens at their high school to vanish for 48 hours with the goal of having a police report show up on social media listing them as a missing persons, because most departments have a 48-hour policy. And wow.
And it's all to see if they show up on social media as a missing person.
Right. And so obviously there's a lot of concerns about this, because for one, as a parent, you're going to be terrified, especially in this day and age with all these children being kidnapped and put into the sex slave trade that's happening, and it's getting worse. And it doesn't matter if you're on the border or not, this can occur anywhere. And so as a parent, I mean, Kate, you've got 2 little girls.
Oh my goodness. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Like you said, I have 2 little girls, and if they were to ever try this, after those 48 hours, they would be missing forever, because they would be locked in their rooms forever.
Yes.
With so many child predators and all of the violence and everything else that's out there, I mean, I don't understand how they can think that this is a cool or fun thing to do. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm old and I didn't grow up with social media. I mean, I grew up in the age of floppy disks, but
and dial-up internet,
right, where we were allowed to be outside until the sun set. Mm-hmm. But now, with the availability of information, and how readily available that information is, and how child predators and everybody else can get a hold of that information about specific individuals, is so terrifying for any parent. Yeah. Never mind a parent who thinks their child is missing. And where are these children going? They can't go to a friend's house, because that friend's parent, if there's a freaking brain inside that parent's head, that friend's parent is going to call the parent of the missing child and say, hey, your kid's here. So
right.
The challenge isn't going to work. So where the hell are they going? The only place for them to go would be more dangerous places.
Exactly. Well, and, when you're dealing with kids, I swear, for me, it's kind of like this should be a common sense thing, but it's hard to forget, that we were kids once, young and dumb, and you're taking up actual resources for real missing persons.
Exactly.
For BS cases of 48-hour challenge. And I'm sorry, it's dumb. And you bring up a good point too, when it comes to parents contacting other parents. And that's the importance of knowing who your children's friends are and who their parents are.
Right. I mean, my kids don't go to another, I don't know, I might be considered a helicopter parent with this statement. I don't know. But my kids, they're 7 and 11. They don't go to somebody else's house without me taking them there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they can't drive on their own. They can't get there. But I will stay and hang out, because I'm not just going to drop my kid off at some random person's house and not be there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know there are so many different things that could go wrong in that situation that I don't want my children exposed to at such a young age. But at the same time, I don't know.
It's a fine line.
I have to know who my kids are hanging out with, and I have to know their parents. We exchange contact information. We not only have cell phone numbers and or home phone numbers, but we also have like email addresses and stuff like that. And we get that from the school. Like the schools have their like class directories.
That's a really good idea. I don't think they do that here in Texas.
Oh, see, they do it here with a lot of different classes. And we also have like a room parent. So that room parent has all of the other parents' information. So cool. If one of my kids is going to somebody's house, let's say baby A, kid A. So one of my daughters is going to kid A's
I'm going to name my next child Kid A, by the way.
Like, and they're hanging out. I mean,
we've got Katie!
If they're hanging out, like, I can get that information from the room parent, but oh my goodness.
Miss Kate. Oh, no, we lost Katie. Katie was here.
Marco.
Hello.
Oh, we've got audio. We can't see you, Katie, but we can hear you. Maybe not.
You're having technical difficulties. Stand by.
Okay. So, I mean, exchanging information with other parents is key. I mean, on the Valentine's Day cards that my daughter handed out today, I wrote my cell phone number on the back of every single card with my name. So that way parents had a way to get in touch with me so that way our kids can socialize. But that's also a way to get in touch for other reasons as well.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. While we're waiting for
I hear y'all, but
there we go.
Well, I'm here.
I hear you. That's okay. We got you on audio. That's all we need. So we just finished talking about the 48-hour challenge, and so now we're going to talk about like two of the other big challenges right now that kids are being like pressured into that are causing deaths and serious injury from social media pressure.
Okay, the kids are acting up upstairs. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. There's yelling going on. Don't mind my friend's husband's gaming room.
Sure, blame it on the friend's husband. So, Katie, have you heard of the Momo challenge?
No, not a clue what that is. And I watch the news every day.
So a friend of mine actually shared this link on Facebook talking about this Momo challenge, which is this like really freaky looking Dr. Seuss meets Tim Burton nightmare sculpture from this artist, I believe, over in Japan. And what kids are doing is they're sharing a picture of the sculpture of this freaky bird woman. And they are saying, hey, we're going to, there you are, I see you. They're telling other kids, hey, if you don't do the challenges and the dares that we give to you, this Momo, this freaky sculpture bird thing, is going to kill you. And these challenges start off as being very small, but they progress into being incredibly violent challenges, and they're encouraged to be violent, and they're telling kids you need to record it. If you don't, Momo's going to get you. And if they don't do it, then these kids are being told that they have to commit suicide. Yeah.
This is on YouTube or what?
So it started off as a challenge that spread on YouTube, but now it's mostly seen on Facebook, but it's also spreading through WhatsApp. Yeah.
Thank God my kid doesn't watch TV or play on iPads or nothing. I have like the most, I can't keep mine inside. So when he comes home, it's shit. Like, he was like, I want to play Fortnite. He has no idea what it is, but all the kids at school talked about it at his old school. He's like, I want to play Fortnite. I was like, he goes, I think it's just movies that they dance to. He has like no concept like of what it is.
Well, there is dancing in it, but no, it's scary because they are taking YouTube and they're taking these videos because they know what kids are looking at you on YouTube, and they're hiding them in there because they're just hashtagging things that kids kids look up naturally, and these challenges are coming up and they're spreading like wildfire. And so this Momo challenge, when I was reading about it online, it didn't even originate in the United States. It started overseas, and it made it here.
That's crazy.
And it's
That's
ridiculous.
insane. Like, our kids don't have enough to worry about.
Yeah.
Well, think about the girl that was texting her boyfriend
Right.
in the car.
That can, made him
commit suicide. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's going to happen to all these kids who are encouraging that? No, we're going to have half the kids in this generation, half the kids are going to be dead, and the other half are going to be in jail because they encourage those kids to kill themselves.
because they encourage them to do it.
Right.
What
Well,
the hell?
and it sucks because, like,
Sorry.
we're all. Did a swear word come out of your mouth?
So instead of having Lindsay's 3 kids and one of my kids upstairs, there are now 6 kids upstairs, which is what all the younger ones. So I apologize for stomping and everything in here upstairs.
You're on your way to building a soccer team.
No, none of them are. Well, I'm sorry, one of them's mine. Sometimes I don't want her to be mine. No, I'm just kidding. I always want her mine.
So I
That's
think
nuts.
one of the big things, like Katie and I were talking about earlier, is when we were growing up, we didn't have these kinds of challenges. I remember playing Bloody Mary in the bathroom. You know,
Yes.
in the
But
bathroom.
they do that now.
playing Bloody Mary in the mirror. I remember drinking Pop Rocks and Coke, and just doing stupid stuff like that. But once again, there wasn't social media.
Yeah, not eating pods.
I know, or snorting condoms.
Well, we're doing the single soldier baskets, and I'm like, fuck. Sorry. I'm gonna have to put a label on these pods and be like, these are for laundry. These boys and girls are 18 and older, but I don't want to get sued because some dumbass decided like just toss it in his ramen noodles thinking it was like a flavor or something. You know, like, I mean, I've heard what some of these soldiers do. I don't need to be part of them choking some pods down and shit.
No, and I agree with you.
Oh my word. I'm sorry. That was good.
Hey, but they do smell pretty fruity, half of them, you know, and they're bright, they're colorful.
Yeah, well, I get the Febreze one and everything, so it smells delicious.
Right.
Not edible, but delicious.
I think it smells like soap. And I have memories of blocks of soap, bars of soap in my mouth for saying bad words, and that's just not appetizing. So Tide Pods are not appetizing to me. I'm not going to throw them on my ramen noodles.
But I mean, how sad is it? That's the world that we live in now, that we have to be careful that our people not to. It's like a difference when a baby crawls in and eats it, but when like even my 7-year-old knows we don't eat laundry pods. I'm like,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
I remember in high school, like the dumb stuff people would do was the robo tripping. They drink a bottle of Robitussin. What?
well,
Why?
and then think back to when that woman sued McDonald's because she had a hot coffee and it was hot and it burned her.
So,
Like, we now have to
people
put
are
a
stuck.
coffee hot label on everything that's hot, even though it's common freaking sense.
When it comes to adults, though, and a lot of this, I hate to say it, but it's natural selection.
The thing is that the adults that require those labels are giving birth to the kids requiring those labels to be furthered. Like,
This is why. So Katie, who joined us, she has one son. I have one son. Kate has 2 daughters. We are being outbred. We are.
Oh, yeah.
we are absolutely being outbred. Oh,
Anyways, so the last of the challenges that we're going to talk about today is actually an older challenge. It's been around, I think when I was reading online, they said like 2012 is when it started. And that is the choking game, also known as the pass out challenge. And the average age of children who are participating in this game, and this is what really freaking shocks me, is a 13. 13 is the medium age for this. And since this reported challenge started, there's been at least 82 deaths just in the United States. And so what's happening is you have kids that are taking belts, they're taking ropes. whatever they can find to place it around their neck. They're tying it. A lot of the times you see it in closets or in at the top bunk of a bunk bed, and they're leaning forward to try and choke themselves to the point of passing out. I kid you not. And so what's happening is some of these kids aren't just passing out, they're dying of asphyxiation.
Right. And it's easy to do. Like, okay, so it's really easy to choke yourself and kill yourself, or kill yourself by choking. So by asphyxiation, I guess. I work at a psychiatric hospital. At this hospital, because it is so easy, all of the doors, instead of being square, are actually cut in an angle. So when they don't, yeah. So you can't tie up your sheets or anything, or towels or anything, and like hang it over the door and hang yourself, because there's at one point there's like a 1.5 to 2 foot gap between the top of the door frame and the top of the door.
That's interesting.
So it's funny how, like, people think of all these different ways, and I wonder where like it all came from. That's just like the psych person in me, anyway. But I wonder where it all came from. But like, there are so many precautions that we have to take at this hospital that
you can't do that as a parent, though. You know,
no, you can't do half of these things. You can't even do most of them.
Right. Well, that's kind of one of the things when I was thinking about this, you know, because I don't have a high school age son right now, but he will be one day. And the only thing that I can think of
part in these challenges,
yeah, is that in our day we didn't have social media, you know, like we talked about, and social media has been shown to have the same addictive properties as gambling. I mean, think about it. You get the colorful likes and the hearts and the comments, and it makes the noise. Yeah. I mean, it's like sitting at a slot machine, and it's just attention. And it's like everyone's getting bored of, no one wants to do the Bloody Mary challenge in the mirror anymore because that's boring. So everyone's like trying, because I'm old school like that. No, but everyone's like trying to one up each other. And it's getting to the point like, oh, holy crap, are we going to see Russian roulette coming back?
Oh, shit. Let's not say that.
No, this is ridiculous, because we are literally getting to the point where what are we supposed to do as parents? I mean, I am tempted to not let my son have any social media at all until he's 18 and just say, screw it, and give him a dumb phone instead of a smartphone.
And that could work, but on the flip side of it, that's not teaching him how to say no to these things and how to deter these things from happening to himself or his friends.
It's true.
So is that really a good solution? I don't mean to come down on your parenting, but is that actually a good solution? Because how are you going to give him the skills to respond appropriately to those types of situations if he doesn't have the social media to have those situations approached? How are you going to teach him that?
Well, honestly, for me, a lot of it has to come with some responsibility. So I'm not going to buy him a smartphone unless he pays for it himself. He can get a dumb phone. He can get a basic dumb phone, and if he wants to work and buy himself a smartphone, by all means. But let me cut you off. Hold on. Yeah. My mother said the same thing to me. She said I couldn't have a cell phone. Now, mind you, smartphones weren't a thing back then, but she said I couldn't have a cell phone unless I paid for it myself. I was 16 years old. I went out. I got a job. I saved up enough money. Oh, I also had to buy her one and pay for both lines. I went out a month after she told me that and did it. And she still has the same phone. Well, the same phone number. That's kind of impressive.
Right? I was 16 years old. I wanted a damn phone.
Hell yeah. No, it's hard because for me with social media, I mean, obviously Gavin's going to have social media before he turns 18. Like I said, it's tempting to cut it, but at the same time, let's be real. As a child, that is part of their social circles now. That's how they communicate. Right. And that brings up
doing everything online.
Right. And it's true. And the schools also encourage the use of social media. I mean, I use the computer to do half the stuff with the schools anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think a lot of the problem is parents shelter the shit out of their kids. We don't shelter Kale. I let him know. He watches the news every morning with things. There are bad people. They kill people. There's kids that get kidnapped. There's rapers. Like, he's 7, but I swear in front of him, we're real. Like, and I know some people don't like it, but I'm like, I have to be. I'd rather him not be that shelter kid, because I have a friend who was sheltered who has now become a stripper. She makes great money. Like, good on her. Like, she does awesome for her and her family. But her parents would sit outside of my store, wait for her to get off work, and then drive her home. They wonder when she turned 18, she went balls to the walls. Well, absolutely.
That's
because
true.
she had she could not do anything. And I want Kale to be open with me. Like, you know what? I'm not dumb. I smoked weed in high school. I drank in high school. He's going to do it. I had sex in high school. Like, it's parents that are, oh, my kids don't do that. Your kid does do it.
Well,
you just don't know it. You're naive.
Hell yeah, they do.
And that's what I think the problem is we live in this, people want this white picket fence, and this isn't how life is. Like, you got to be real with your kids and let them know. And
it's not like that.
It's true.
You need to be upfront and honest with your kids. My kids know the truth. My kids know that there are bad people in the world. Their dad, one of the dads is in the Army. He was just deployed. So, of course, my kids asked a lot of questions about that. Mm-hmm. But I was completely honest with them about what was happening, where dad or stepdad was, like, all of that.
Yeah.
Completely honest with them about it. Yeah. But I was at work and at my old job, which was retail, and I had this guy come in with his daughter, and she started asking, like, oh, why are these things locked up? Because we had these like big lock boxes that products were in that you could see. And I was like, oh, because some people like to steal things, and so we have to lock them up. So that way honest people who want to buy them can buy. And he's like, oh, but not everybody steals things. And he's like, don't worry, you don't know anybody that steals things. Nobody's going to steal anything with your, and I'm like, dude, you're a fucking fool. What the hell?
Right.
I don't know what your little angel daughter is doing. She goes to friends and players.
Right.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly with Katie. Like, with Gavin, I never did baby talk. I never said, hey, this is like, I watched horror movies and stuff growing up. Like, I watched everything the adults did. Hey, Gavin. And it's just kind of like, I think in the end, it really helped me develop, because I didn't live a sheltered life, and I don't want Gavin to have a sheltered life either. But social media is one of those things where, for me, it's a slippery slope too.
Well, hopefully with us having boys, we don't have to worry about it, because like Randy doesn't have Facebook or anything. My husband thinks it's stupid. Hopefully,
and kids also under my. Oh, look at the puppy. Well, kids get addicted to it too.
Parents do too, though.
Oh yeah, they do. My phone told me I looked at social media for 7 solid hours last week. I'm like, holy crap! It didn't even feel that long. My phone made
At least it wasn't in one day.
What's that?
Yeah.
At least it wasn't in one day.
That's true. It could always be worse.
That woman that used to play Farmville and her kid died or whatever.
What?
What happened a long time ago? She like super child neglect or whatever, and she was just playing Farmville the whole time. I don't know.
Or
no.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awful. We I mean, we just have to like monitor what our kids are doing.
It's true, and communication. Like we talked about earlier. As long as we talk with our kids, that's going to be the biggest factor.
I tell my kids every single day, it doesn't matter what they do or what they say or what happens during the day. I will always love them regardless. And they know that they can come to me and talk to me about absolutely.
And that's what it is. As long as you know that there's an open dialogue, you explain to them the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's these challenges, I mean, they're going to happen, and they are going to be faced with them. And there's going to be kids out there who try to pressure all of our kids at one point to do these challenges, or at least expose them to them.
And is it honestly though, is it much different doing this than it was bullying kids, like bullying other kids?
Is it what?
Is it much different than when we were growing up? If we were, if the cool kids were trying to bully and kids who were not as cool, you want to try to fit in. Like, is it much different? I feel as if it's almost the same type of situation where you want to stay cool, so you do these things.
It's a peer pressure, and it's also linked as a form of bullying as well.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, you're lame. If you don't do this, you're a loser, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But
so
there's only so much
honest communication and monitor social media.
Yep. And dumb phones. I'm still a fan of dumb
phones.
But also, it's harder.
There's program like 10 numbers.
Of kids getting into accidents when they got the dumb phones. Dumb phones.
Kale has a watch because I let him free roam the neighborhood.
That's
And I can just detect where he's at. It tells me if he's left the neighborhood, there's a boundary on it. I'm like, where the hell are you? Get your ass back on this side of the fence. Or the MPs bring your ass back home again and tell me that you're not old enough to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that mom.
Because you don't want to be the helicopter parent to the extreme to where your kids have no personal space, because then they're also going to rebel in the opposite direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then he'll be leaving the watch at the gate and then escaping or some shit.
Right.
But he hates wearing it. He hates it. He's like, I don't like it. I'm like,
down, drag them back. It just becomes a pain. But ladies, I really thank you both.
Look at her. She froze. Oh, there she is. She's back. Hey, you're back. Okay.
But thank you, everyone who's taken the time to watch our video today. Hope that you found this to be informative. And just know that these challenges are going around. There's some things that you can do to mitigate this, but I think we've kind of come to this consensus. One of the biggest ones is communication and not challenges. And dumb phones. I'm sorry, I'm so
and dumb phones.
Dumb phones. But thank you for joining us. Feel free to share this video. Follow us on Facebook if you don't already, and be sure to follow us on Instagram. And tomorrow we're going to be dropping a new custom drink geared towards a particular class or group of moms. So join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time to see what that drink is. Hope you have an awesome Valentine's Day, and you get some loving, right?
Well, hopefully my batteries. Hopefully my batteries aren't out.
Other people, you get some loving.
Yeah. Bye, girls.
Bye.
Bye.